Hello there. This is James, and you're watching OneRoyal Live. But it's not just OneRoyal Live. It's OneRoyal Live presents a watch-along of the US Consumer Price Index. And let's face it, we have been desperate for any key economic data of the last couple of weeks. But before I get into all of that, don't forget, of course, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should it be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your own research, do your own due diligence, and of course, there are the risks at hand before entering any trade. With that out the way, let's get started. So yeah, let's be honest. Today, we're going to get the US Consumer Price Index announcement. And we have been desperate for any key economic data. Hello, man. Hello there. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Good to see you. But like I say, we've been desperate for any economic data because this is the first key economic data announcement since the US government shutdown began. And we are looking at the second longest government shutdown in US history. Hello there. Hey, everybody. Great to see everybody. Great to see everyone. Hope everybody's great. Hope everybody's good. But like I say, it's the second longest in history, and we've been desperate. And here's the thing. Here's the major thing. This lockdown, government not lockdown, shutdown, should I say? It's really a shutdown, isn't it? It's not a lockdown. That's the old COVID brain kicking in. You know, is likely to continue all the way into November. But we've been so. I have a question here. What do you prefer to buy or sell gold? I'm a massive. Nice to meet you, by the way. Thank you for coming along. I'm a massive gold bug, and I will talk about gold actually part of this broadcast because I want to talk about that as well. I really do, because I think gold's going to be very interesting. That's what we're going to be watching initially. Hello there, my friend. I hope you're good. Hello there, buddy. How you doing? Hope you're good. Like I say, so yeah. So this is likely to continue to November, most likely. Here's the thing. This whole lockdown for us investors, for us traders, let's face it, we've had no NFP, no US initial claims, no PPI, no retail sales, no trade balances from the United States, etc. We have had no economic data out of the US. This is why today's announcement is a pretty big thing, because this is our first little bit of data we're going to get. We haven't had anything. In fact, I was preparing to do a NFP watch along, which I do every month, but I couldn't do it because it wasn't happening. And in many ways, the market has really been flying blind, has been absolutely flying blind. You know, we're not seeing any key data coming in. Any key data. Okay, here I've got a couple of questions here. Focus on gold and NASDAQ, please. Well, NASDAQ's not open. Obviously, it's not open for another hour, so that's not going to have an impact. But we will be looking at gold. I know everybody loves gold. I love gold too. It's my first love. What's going to happen to gold? I wish I could tell you, but we're going to talk about that. I promise you, I will talk about gold. Because those who know me, I'm a big gold bug. So yeah, anyway, back to my initial point. Markets have really been flying blind. We've got nothing. But here's the thing, not today, because we're going to get the US Consumer Price Index. We're going to get some information. We're going to get some data. Now, the question, of course, for those who are new to the industry, what is the Consumer Price Index and why is it important? I will let this good-looking man explain to you why. Dear James, what is the CPI, Consumer Price Index? What a great question. Let's look into that. Now, the Consumer Price Index, or CPI, is a report released once a month, and it measures the changes in prices of a basket of goods. In other words, inflation. If the percentage is increasing, then potentially that is bullish for the currency in question. If the percentage is decreasing, then potentially that is bearish for the currency in question. Anyway, till next time, every single one of you, trade safe. What a good looking chap. Of course, I'm joking, obviously. But anyway, yes, the CPI. Now, what numbers can we potentially expect? Well, year on year, which is the headline rate, which maybe is not the most important for a certain group of people who we're going to talk about in the moment, but gets all the headlines. Year on year, expected coming at 3.1%. Previous reading was 2.9%. So the general consensus is we are going to beginning to see a slight tariff effect on prices. Now, month on month, it's expected to come in at 0.4% versus the previous reading of 0.4%. The core, which is also extremely important to take into account and to watch, okay, year on year, it's expected 3.1%, month on month, 0.3%, which was the same as the previous reading back in September. Now, those who are new to trading, just to know the difference between the core and the headline is the core doesn't take into account the costs of oil, energies, and food because it's too volatile. So don't take into account that. So that's why it's a slightly different reading. But that's also a bit more disturbing because the core heavily looks at rent, clothing, things of this nature, and we see a change in price of that. So that's why it's important. But it is often the headline rate which will take the headlines, so to speak, hence being called a headline. Quick question here. Can you put the translation into Arabic on the broadcast? I can do it on the recording, buddy. I can't do it on this, unfortunately, my friend. But we do have, obviously, an Arabic channel with my colleague who does similar things. So check out our Arabic channel. He's very, very good. I like him a lot. He's a good colleague of mine. So we do that. Anyway. But this is why this is also important for something else. It's not just because of the first bit of economic data we're going to get, which we haven't had in a long time. That's something else, which is really, really important. And that is the fact this is going to be the last significant economic reading we are going to get before the Fed policy decision next Wednesday. There's a lot of anticipation about what the Fed's going to do. Just realized I haven't turned my light on. Got too excited. Now, the expectation is for the Fed to cut rates next week to 4%, down from 4.25%. In fact, the CME tool showed that the market believes there's a 97% chance of a 25 basis rate point cut next week. But here's the thing. This announcement could potentially change everything, or what we think the Fed's going to do next week. Don't forget, they're flying blind just like we are. They've had no employment data like we have. They have had no real inflation data like we have. They have no industrial data like we have. They have nothing to base or understand the state of the US economy at the moment. This is the only thing they're going to get. Now, this can really generally change, maybe not their decision next week, but their decision in December. So it does depend. What we get today could alter a lot of what they think may happen. Now, if we get a better reading or a lower reading, could it confirm 2 more rate cuts this year? And this brings me on to what people have been asking me to talk about, and something which I'm a big gold bug. Those who know me know I'm extremely passionate about it. I've been trading it all my life. And in fact, it was indeed my first love. And that, of course, is gold. Just a show of comments. Who are gold traders here watching this broadcast? How many people here are watching gold? Are you trading gold? Here we go. This is a good interesting point. This is an interesting question here. I expect the bulls will continue the market at the beginning of next month because gold has not lost this much since 2013 until now. Yeah, you're right. Had its worst trading week or so for a very long time. Very long time. So you are correct about that. A comment here. Thumbs up. Excellent. Thank you, Adam. It's a very valid point, though. This is why I want to talk a little bit about gold. I've got to keep an eye on the time. Make sure we're not going to run out. So how can this announcement affect gold? Because let's face it, gold has been in the headlines massively over the last couple of trading weeks. Hugely, it's been in the headlines. You know, now the record-breaking run, the bull run gold has had, and because it had 5 days. I've been trading gold since 2006. When I first traded gold, it was trading at $635 an ounce. That's how old I am. Okay, I've never seen a run like that for 5 days in a row. Sorry, I've never seen it. Now, obviously, gold is now entering a phase of consolidation. Now, potentially, these are potential scenarios which could potentially affect gold, and we'll talk about other scenarios which will affect the other market. Potentially hotter than expected inflation reading, okay, as in a high inflation reading, could basically reduce the expectations of another rate cut in December. Everybody's priced in already. It's definitely going to happen next week, but it could, damper anticipations of another rate cut, which would mean in this case scenario, we shift the market's attention away from the yellow metal, okay, to the US dollar and US Treasury yields, okay, because higher interest rates, okay, if the Fed keep that, Treasury yields do well, and gold doesn't obviously pay interest. A softer reading, though, could reaffirm the bets of 2 rate cuts this year, potentially reviving gold's record-selling rally. So that could be an impact there. Right, we're running slightly out of time. So we need, before the announcements, to go through some other potential scenarios of what the market in general could potentially be. Okay, because like I said, it's the first bit of data the market's had in almost a month. Potential scenario number 1, CPI is announced as expected, and the market's already priced it in, and there's very little change. A boring announcement. That can happen. Despite all the build-up and the excitement, that can happen. Potential scenario number 2, CPI is announced as expected, and the same different outcome of the same scenario. Market sees US dollar weakness as the market fully prices in 2 rate cuts. Potential scenario number 3, CPI is announced higher than expected. Market falls and USD gains strength because I don't think there's going to be a rate cut. Potential scenario number 4, CPI is announced lower than expected and the market bounces and the US dollar falls. But anyway, I was going to show you a few more things, but we haven't got time. We've got to get ready. We've got to get ready. Right. Obviously, I'm going to be watching gold on this one because I think gold is going to prove to be quite interesting because, like I said, it's been under consolidation over the last couple of trading sessions. So this is it. We're getting ready now. Get ready. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, okay. No movement on the yellow metal yet. Oh, there we go. Okay, going up higher. It's going up higher. It spiked up a little bit, only not dramatically. What is it? 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 What have we got here? Let's have a look. Let's get the data, what it is. Okay. Finally managed. Right. Okay. So the CPI year on year has come in slightly lower than expected not dramatically, but lower. It came in at 3% versus the 3.1% anticipated. Okay. Month on month came in lower as well. 0.3% versus 0.4% expected. Core, month on month, 0.2, less than the 0.3 than expected. And core, year on year, 3% less than the 3.1% expected. So inflation is slightly softer than it was expected to be. Not dramatically, so it's not time to get out the bunting and celebrate, but slightly softer. Let's have a quick look to see how other pairs reacted to this announcement. And again, like I say, it's the first bit of economic data we've had in weeks. Dollar, let's see, euro dollar had a bigger move on this. A lot bigger. Moved a lot higher. The cable as well, a lot more dramatic than the yellow metal. Cable spiked up. Let's see the dollar yen. What does this mean to the dollar yen? Weaker dollar. So, which makes sense. Totally makes sense. Like we say, this is really potential scenario number, what was it? Potential scenario number 4, which is, of course, it is announced lower. So now, obviously, the market is looking at it. Definitely, the Fed will cut rates next week. And most likely, if this continues, depending on the employment data, obviously, which we haven't got, this continues, then obviously we'll probably see another rate cut in December. So the market's looking at it currently, as it stands at the moment, that we will get 2 rate cuts this year because inflation is not a massive problem currently for the Fed. Don't forget, we're still above the Fed's 2% target. We're still above that. Okay. But you know, it's still softer, so it's nothing dramatic. So they have got leg room to do that. Let's go back to see gold. See if gold's reacted any better. No, it's still a little bit. It's only up a couple of dollars. I don't think maybe this is going to be the thing to really boost it. I think it's the US-China trade negotiations next week is going to probably impact a little the silver, the yellow metal a little bit more. But yeah, definitely weaker dollar across the board. Let's have a quick look at the dollar index. See where we are with the dollar index as well. Let's look at the dollar Swiss first. Yeah, dollar down against the Swiss. There you go, dollar index. That's not dollar index. What I'm talking about. There's a dollar index, sorry. Yeah, down 98.80 on the dollar index as well. So yeah, there we go. There we go, ladies and gents. You know, a reasonable movement, not on the one we were watching, the one everybody asked me about, and the one I was more excited about, not on gold, but you know, we still had a, what was that? I mean, dollar move. It's still a $30 move on the yellow metal, though. We are still slightly down for the day from the open. Anywho, any questions, anybody? Anybody want to ask me anything on this breaking news? No, you can ask me anything. Oh, tell me what you think. I actually like hearing other people's opinions on where they think, you know, gold's going to go. Or if you're a euro dollar trader or dollar yen trader or cable trader or crypto trader, even if you're one of those. I'm not a big crypto trader myself. Unfortunately, I'm too old school. I'm too old fashioned. Silver, please. That's a good one. Very good question. Star, I like your name as well. Let's actually pull up silver and have a look at it. Silver, obviously, is gold's little brother. It's gold's little brother. And it actually has done a better return than gold has this year, even though gold gets all the headlines, silver doesn't. And like I say, it's been trading around levels, higher than levels we haven't seen since 1980. So silver is really overlooked. Look, in my view, I think both the two metals are going to go for a little bit of consolidation, but potentially, if conditions continue, with the uncertainty, and with the way the trade deal's going and all this we have, there could be more leg room at some point for the metals to potentially move higher. But again, nobody knows for certain, so I can't say for certain. But I think silver is something really interesting, which people overlook a lot, and they should pay more attention to it. Definitely pay more attention, because gold steals all its glory is always gold. But like I say, at the moment, we're clearly going through a bit of consolidation with both of them, which makes perfect sense, because the bull rally we've had on both has been insane. It's been absolutely insane. So, of course, you're going to see this. But again, like I say, we'll have to see how market conditions continue. But a really good question. Any other questions at all? Don't forget, this is a live show, so you can ask me anything. Well, share with me your opinions. I want to hear about your opinions, what you think. What's your view on stuff? Or, or hands up. Let's ask a question to the room. When do you think the US government shutdown is going to finish? Tell me that question. That's a great question as well. What is your favorite indexes for trading? Very good question, Mr. Cat. Nice to see you, by the way. Thank you for coming. Look, my favorite, again, personally, what I look at the FTSE 100, obviously, because I'm British. So obviously I'm not that. But to engage the market in particular, I tend, because I look at the indices a lot, to try and engage market sentiment a lot. That's how I really use them. S&P 500, obviously, I look at that a lot to engage how competitive the market is, comparing that to where the VIX is performing. But what I also look at, again, this is more to engage how I think the market is feeling, is the Russell 2000, and see how the two are performing. If they're performing similar, obviously S&P is always going to outperform it, okay, because it's 500 top companies, not 2,000 medium-sized companies. But if there's a bigger divide between the two, means, in my opinion, potentially we're looking at a bubble. This is what I look at it. So I don't necessarily look at them for trading. I look at them to try and engage what I feel the market is feeling or what the market sentiment is. That's a great question, Mr. Khan. What's your favorite? What do you trade? What do you like trading? Which ones do you like trading? What's your favorite? Or what's everybody else's favorite indices? Does everybody else like to trade? Here's another good question. Okay, here's another great question. What are your pairs for trading the UK and the European markets? Okay, like I said, obviously I trade the cable a lot, which British pound, US dollar. I like that. Obviously, again, British because I know it. Euro yen, for the euro, I look at that. The same as I look at the guppy a lot as well. The guppy is the British pound, Japanese yen. Those are the particular pairs I quite like looking at. And when I'm looking at trading potentially the guppy yen, sorry, not the guppy yen, the British pound yen, the guppy is its nickname, because they all have nicknames, don't they? That's what I love about this industry. They all have nicknames. So when I do look at British pound, Japanese yen, I do tend to sometimes do my hedging trades with euro sterling as well. So that's what I tend to do. Here we go. I've just started learning trading. Brilliant, Mr. Khan. Well, great. Excellent. Okay. Well, like I say, I would say, we've got plenty of education, obviously. We take a lot of care in trying to educate you to make sure that, A, for one, you understand, but B, to also make sure that trading's for you, because, we're transparent. I'm not going to say that trading's for everybody. So, understand that, there is mechanics behind it. so you can get to understand it. But we've got plenty of education. I often do webinars as well. If you go onto our YouTube channel, we've got an Arabic one, but we've also got a one in English, obviously our main one. OneRoyal official. Okay, there's a load of videos that I've done on there for educational purposes, webinars, educational stuff, etc. And there's loads more I'm going to be doing soon as well. Absolutely loads more. So, you know, and I will be doing more webinars as well in the coming weeks, and more educational stuff, because I love doing educational stuff. I really do. I really enjoy doing educational material and teaching. You know, not saying that. Here's the thing. What I always say about myself: I'm not a you know, trading expert or a guru. I'm just somebody who likes to share my own experiences to help people hopefully become better traders than I am. You know, that's the whole point. So I never claim to be the solver of the golden goose, etc. I don't believe in that. But yeah, no, there's plenty of educational material. Okay, there's another great question here. Okay, as well. Will the Fed chairman speak next week? Now, he won't necessarily speak when they make their interest rate decision on Wednesday. Okay, they will tend to they make their decision. Okay, and then they do their statement, you know, monetary statement, and announce what they do. And then after that, they do tend to do then a press conference, which is, yeah, so he will be speaking in the press conference. So you've got to bear in mind, okay, so the interest rate decision comes out at 6 p.m. GMT, and then 30 minutes later, Jerome Powell will get up and he will speak. So yeah, he will speak following the decision. I don't know if anybody saw that really funny video. There was loads of them out. Last time they made the interest rate decision, it was hilarious if you're in the market. They showed this guy's watching a chart, and he was getting all ready for the press conference. Jerome Powell came on the chair. He said hello, and the market went like that. So it's quite comical, unless you were buying at that point, obviously. But yeah, answer your question, yes, he will be in the press conference 30 minutes after they have announced their interest rate decision. Another great question here. This is fantastic. Do you recommend scalping for new learners? What is the best time frame for that? Okay, I don't recommend any particular trading style over another. And I'll tell you why, Mr. Cap. Everybody is different. Everybody has slightly different personalities. Everybody has slightly different amount of time they can invest into research, into this, into that. So I never, ever say this trading style is better over another one. I don't do that. I can't. You know you, sir. I don't know you, so I can't recommend one over another. So I can't recommend. But timeframes for scalping, usually for scalpers who do scalping, is 1 minute to 5 minutes. It's very, very, very short, because the idea of scalping, of course, is you go in the market quickly and get out of the market. So you pretty get out. So, but again, you know you, sir, but good question. Okay, here's another great question. Dr. James, more innocent. I love your name. Someone who wants to learn with you, can I get access to your email for support? It's a great question. Great question. Now, look, I do run a team, obviously, of market analysts, so we do trading. Do you have an account with us at the moment, sir? If you have an account with us, of course, obviously, you can talk to your account manager or someone like this, and we can arrange maybe a webinars for more people if there's more interest in it and things of this nature. But yeah, you know, we can do that. Okay, I do VIP one-on-one meetings with people or training sessions with individuals, but it depends on a certain group. But it's best to, I mean, there's plenty of material we have. I do, obviously, on YouTube. I will be doing more, obviously. But if you want to reach out, by all means, you can contact your account manager, and we can put ourselves together, so I can organize maybe a webinar session for a number of you. I mean, if there's a big general show of hands today saying, we want a webinar, James, please, a webinar, I will do another webinar. I will put a webinar together, especially for you guys. And then also at the same time, make suggestions of what subject you want to cover. Ms. Khan, I appreciate your guidance. No problem, my friend. You know, I do the best I can to help out where I can, just to share. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing about this as well. I'm passionate about what I do. I've been doing it a very long time. I've been in the industry since 2006. Like I said, when I started trading gold through Dubai Gold and Commodity Exchange, and gold was trading around $635 an ounce. And I am passionate. I enjoy what I do. I love the markets and all this, but I'm also a realist as well. This is the thing about me. I'm not one of these educators or people like that who will, you know, say this trading's easy, this, that. I don't do that. This is not who I am. I'm trying to be open with you and tell you the facts and help you learn. I'm not going to be able to tell you what to do. You need to discover it yourself. I just hope to be able to put you on the right path to get there. That's all. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Any other questions at all? Anybody else like to say anything else? Okie dokie. Well, in that case, if there is no questions, can I just do a big shout out to everybody who came to watch the broadcast today? We've had a bit of activity. Okay, we go through the headlines. Those who missed the headline or what it was, of course, it came in lower than anticipated, only just lower than anticipated, meaning the market now believes we're going to get 2 rate cuts this year, which the knock-on effect, we have seen a weaker dollar. But anyway, don't forget, I do these live shows every now and then, watch-alongs. Watch-alongs I always do when there's, especially the big ones like NFP. So we'll carry on doing these live shows. I'm doing a new live show coming soon, by the way, as well. A new live show coming soon, which I will be announced, which we'll be doing 3 times a week, which will be a mixture of education, what's going in the market, and special guests. I've got another question here as well. I have done a demo account with OneRoyal and want to go on real soon. Tomorrow we'll do payouts only in cryptos, only, or you wired to accounts for people in the Gulf. Okay, look. Okay, we don't just do cryptos, obviously. There's card payments, bank payments, etc. Don't forget there's AML laws, so you know you have to follow as well. So talk to your account manager, explain that. But it's not just cryptos. Obviously, we do bank accounts as well. Obviously, wire transfers to make it as easy for you as possible. So there's plenty of payment solutions on that. Okay, so reach out and they will explain it more. Dr. James, thank you for your support, but I need most of your support. Please send me details about the best way to reach. It'd be a great pleasure. I'm not a doctor, by the way, but very nice of you to say. Thank you for your support, but I need more. Look, okay. If reach out to your account manager, I'll reach out to customer support and they'll put you in contact with me. And then we can have luck. I don't know best way to reach because, like I say, it depends. Everybody has their own particular networks. But I'm more than happy to reach out at some point, Mr. Innocent. Is that really your name, More Innocent? Is that just a username? I love it, by the way. I love it. Okie dokie. Is there any more questions before I sign up? We've been on now for 35 minutes. That's 35 minutes. You poor people have had to listen to me. You poor people, you. Okie dokie. If there is no questions, no further questions, can I do a big shout out to More Innocent, Mr. Khan, Star, Adam, Pink Life, and I can't pronounce the name, my apologies, Sama Kazar, Dario, etc. There's loads of them. Can I make a big shout out to all of you good people? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for interacting with me, asking questions with me. I really love it. It's the whole point of these live shows is because I'm trying to build a community where we can share ideas and talk with each other. And I absolutely love that. And your interaction today has been fantastic. And I really, really thank you. Leaves me to say we've had a reasonable, exciting time. Not the best I've ever seen, but still, it was interesting. But leaves me to say, till next time, remember, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should be taken as financial advice. I always suggest you do your own research, do your own due diligence, and of course, with the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.